Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Viola, I'm a photographer from Austria, and today I'm going to show you how to get perfectly sharp Instagram images by exporting them the right way out of Photoshop and out of Lightroom. So my typical editing workflow is that I edit like the light and the colors in Lightroom and then retouch in Photoshop. And so obviously I have to export the images the right way out of Lightroom and out of Photoshop in order to have a sharp image. And that's what we're going to start with. So I am in Lightroom right now. This is the photo that I've chose for our presentation today. And basically I'm just gonna export the photo, open the export window with I'm on Apple with Command Shift and E, and then you can like choose all of these different types of things. So starting out with, this is like not as important for like having a sharp photo, but I'm just gonna go over it really quickly. You can export your photo into a folder, you can name it whatever you want, and then down here is where it gets interesting. When I opened Lightroom, like when I first downloaded it, the quality was not at 100%. I don't know, I guess that's just like the default setting. So what you need to pay attention to is that you have JPEG selected here, and then you want to have like the RGB color range, and definitely do not limit your file size, because we want to have like the biggest and best quality image as possible out of Lightroom. That's why we obviously also want to turn up the quality to 100%. If you have like a really big image like straight out of camera, obviously you're gonna get a pretty big image out of here as well. But if you want to have like a super sharp photo, you can't compress it just yet, because we are going to be working in Photoshop on the image, and you obviously need the photo to be really sharp for retouching. So we're just going to select 100% quality here, as I said, JPEG and RPG, and then just click export, and then we're going to switch into Photoshop. Welcome to Photoshop. I've just opened the final retouched image, so you can also kind of like see before and after of what I retouched. And I of course always sharpen some details in the photo. Let me zoom in here. As you can see, I sharpen the eyes and then little hairs like the eyebrows, anywhere where it's like glitter or like a lot of skin texture, like right here. I just sharpen that a little bit to just bring out the details a bit more. So that's also kind of a tip. What I use for that is my sharpening action. And basically what you do as with any other action tool, you just select it, press play, and then you can paint with the white brush, and just, it's probably gonna look a little bit crazy now, but just like sharpen anything that you want even sharper. So yeah, that's kind of the before and after here. So it definitely is important that you sharpen your photo a little bit, but it's not essential. You don't need to do it, but for like a perfectly sharp photo, this definitely is another good tip or trick, whatever you want to call it. And then obviously you want to save the high quality, like full size image to your computer, just so you have it for like any big publications that you might need it. But for Instagram, what you can do is go to File and Export, and then Save for Web. And this is also going to open like a similar window as in Lightroom, and you can like select all sorts of things here. I'm just going to stick with JPEG, and then here you can decide how high the quality should be, and then down here you can see how big your file is going to be. And if we zoom out here, you can also kind of see how reducing the quality changes the image. So let's go to like 50% for now. And if I zoom in here, as you can see, the photo is still perfectly sharp. And that's actually, go maybe even further down. Let's go with like 30%. I don't know if you are going to be able to tell like through the video, but it just got like a tiny bit less sharp, but it's still like really sharp. And it also reduces the file size, which is great, because sometimes Instagram sizes down files because they're just too big. As with like my normal like 100% images, they will probably be between like 10 and 15 megabytes, which is kind of a lot. And so Instagram would size those down. But if you already size them down in Photoshop and you're able to keep the quality through exporting them for web, it obviously keeps your photos sharper. And so that's the way that I usually do that. Just export for web. Let me show you again. Go to File, Export, Export for Web. This is the shortcut, even though like it's not really a shortcut. There's like a lot of different keys you need to press, but then this window is going to open up. You can choose whatever you want. Quality wise, zoom out here so you can actually compare. You You see the file size down here, and this is basically how I export my images to keep them as sharp as possible on Instagram, because if I already like have a super sharp beauty image, obviously I want to have the same quality or like as close to the original quality as possible on Instagram. So that's my tip or my tutorial kind of on how to get really sharp photos for your Instagram. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe down below if you haven't already, and please like this video if you did enjoy it, so I know what types of content that you guys like, and I hope to see you in the next video very soon. Bye!